What's going on, you guys? Slim finally back here with a deck profile for you guys, and today, you guys, I got my boy HECTOR ARANO's first place ELDLICH DRAGOON, just evil trap deck that he went undefeated with. I'm piloting this, showing this to you guys with all the real cards because he was able to send me a DB screenshot, but you guys know I prefer the real cards, and if I had the ability to rebuild the deck and present it, I'm definitely going to do that. I wasn't able to get his profile live, but you know, shout out to him for sending me all the information I needed for his list. I think ELDLICH is in like a crazy spot right now. This format is so like, everyone's like bored of it, which kind of sucks because there's so many good decks in the format, but everyone's tired of seeing Sword Soul. They're tired of seeing the Bird Up deck. They're tired of seeing, you know, just all the Alistair decks, all the, you know, Phantom Knights, all that stuff. But then there's ELDLICH. There's ELDLICH, and ELDLICH is a great anti-meta deck. So we're going to pilot it, and yeah, I'm going to, you know, talk about, you know, choices, because it's definitely a unique take. My boy HECTOR is no stranger to this channel. He always makes unique calls, and it worked out for him. So super happy to profile this for him. You guys already know, if you guys want to build this deck yourself, use the TCG player link. It's in the description below. All my other stuff is down there in the description below. And yeah, we're going to get into it. It feels good to record for you guys. Your boy's been busy, but don't worry, I'll be coming back soon. I'll have a real like update video and stuff with everything that's been going on. But yeah, it's all good. Even though Pasadena got canceled, you know, we're still here playing Yu-Gi-Oh, so it is what it is. But anyways, you guys, it's ELDLICH. So he kept the most standard ELDLICH engines you could play. It's literally always the same. I haven't seen too many people migrate from this. I know Triff has really like set the wave with ELDLICH, and honestly, this is just like the main stuff people play. Sometimes you'll see the other elixirs as like one-ofs, but HECTOR decided to just keep this, you know, very just streamlined. He is playing 45 cards, I will let you guys know that, but there's reasons why he decided to up the count and stuff like that. But his ELDLICH engine is exactly the same with, you know, the 2 Golden Lords, the 3/3/2 with the, you know, the Hawk and the Conquistador and the Scarlets, you know, just standard. He also decided to main deck 2 copies of the Lord of the Heavenly Prison. I really like this card. I think this card is crazy. I love that Triff's been playing this too, because I think this card is just great. It's really, really busted in this deck. Just being able to protect your back row, being able to summon itself. It's a body. It's a 10. It's 3,000 by 3,000. Like, that's actually crazy. And the fact that it also, you know, can just help you just go for game, which this deck is like, a lot of times this deck is just a real grind deck. You know, it's just a stun deck, and then being able to just OTK the opponent, you know, with this and making Gustav Max and stuff like that is pretty cool. So yeah, I really like this card. 2 is like the perfect number. What he is playing, though, that we haven't seen in a while, it's really weird for me to say we haven't seen this in a while, but we really have not seen this in a while. It's literally the Dragoon engine. So I haven't played this or seen this in like forever. I know everyone has migrated to DPE. DPE is insane. However, you definitely get more advantage with this card in this particular deck, the way he built it, because it helps protect your board. It helps protect your back row. DPE is an amazing card. We already know that, but when you can put Dragoon on the board with traps, it's pretty crazy. It's been like that ever since Dragoon came into the game, and you know, it's still here, and I don't see it getting hit. So yeah, it's a very, very solid engine. So I'm glad he's still playing that. I know he's been a fan of Dragoon as much as I have. He also played pot cards. He went a little different though. He decided to play Prosperity and Duality, so he decided to just go like a standard like stun deck route. Prosperity just helps you dig. A lot of times your extra deck is irrelevant. However, there are certain cards that will come up in certain situations. Like playing the trains is important because you can just steal free games with the burning from Gustav Max, and you can also just, you know, lead your way into a Zeus, so that can be really important. Also, he's only playing 1 Dragoon, so the ability to just not banish that is great. So it just helps you dig, and then this, of course, because you're like never special summoning. So he decided to forego extra for these pots. Again, you know, personal player preference. Definitely try it out and don't knock it till you try it, because I know a lot of decks play extra, but you can also get the Prosperity and stuff off of the Lord of the Heavenly Prison, so it's still pretty cool. One of random cards of Called by the Graves, just, you know, to stop any kind of hand trap. Ash is kind of like your worst enemy if they hit your Red Eyes Fusion, your Scarlet Sanguine, stuff like that. So Called by the Graves is really solid. He is playing 1 Mystic Mind, and this was the craziest thing too. He's still playing the Metaverse. So like me, he played Guru ages ago, and we were playing the Metaverse with Mystic Mind and like other field spells. He's literally only playing the Mystic Mind with the Metaverse. I questioned this at first, but then I kind of saw his reasoning for it. It is another trap you can set. And sometimes it can come up. Obviously, you're not going to play terraforming in a deck like this or anything, but this was kind of just his take on the deck, because just having meta versus another way to, you know, get Mystic Mine on the board if you need to use that tactic against your opponent. It's not always going to win you the game, but it can help you just, you know, get your advantage over time and then be able to, you know, overwhelm your opponent with traps. So pretty solid overall, and yeah, metaverse to get there. So I thought that was pretty cool. I definitely think that stood out when I saw the list. And then, of course, the reason why you guys are here, the reason why this deck is so crazy is all the freaking traps his deck plays. Now, he went a just crazy route. He is playing all 6 Solemns. I agree with this. I like them all. You can put Judgment in the side if you want, because I know Judgment can sometimes only be good when you know you're going first. It's only good in the side deck, but this card is really versatile, going first or going second. Being able to just stop anything that gets in your way. If you have a well-timed Judgment, it can end the game. Also with Strike is just insane. It's like easily the best trap in this deck. It just breaks every board. Strike plus Torrential plus other traps in here just break every board in the game. So that's the main reason. And then one of the main focal points of the deck is Trap Trick. Not maxing out. I've noticed a lot of trap decks have not played 3 Trap Trick in a really long time. You don't really want to see it too much. You do play, you know, the different ratios to be able to, you know, incorporate Trap Trick. There's even more traps in the side that get more advantage from this. So yeah, I like this card as 2. I'm glad he's playing 2, and you guys will see why. So this is where all the 2-ofs come in. So he really wanted to play versatile traps. He wanted to have and, you know, try out and see, okay, what works this format? What works against the main decks of the format? You know, what works? What does it? You know, what can I, you know, change? What, you know, just get as much, you know, mileage as he could out of the card. So he decided to go with 2 copies of Torrential, 2 copies of Ice Dragon Prison, 2 copies of Punishment, 2 copies of D-Barrier. So all these cards are literally trap trickable. Already said it. They're all versatile. I really like that he's playing the D-Barrier. I know Triff started this, being able to just call, you know, just anything, you know, calling Synchro against freaking Sword Soul just ends their turn. Calling Fusion against the Invoke deck just ends the turn. Like, there's just so many crazy things you could do with this. All these cards are super versatile. He just played them in 2 of, so that with Trap Check, it's like he has the 3rd copy, but can also just play more cards and have more variety. So I really like that. And then where most of these Eldritch decks would play a Floodgate, like there can only be 1 or Goes, and he decided to go with Summon Limit. I think this is a card that probably just threw everyone off. Everyone is looking at Goes, and everyone is looking at there can only be 1. I think Gozen is better because there can only be 1. While it's amazing against the meta, it can really, you know, mess you up with your zombies and stuff, the way your Eldritch cards work. What I like about Summon Limit, though, is that this just says that's it. Like 1 summon, 2 summon, boom, you're done. So I really like this. I know this worked out for him, and is definitely something that if you are playing a trap deck, definitely something to consider, you know, trying, you know, pretty much in any format where they're spamming, you can just literally just lock them out with Summon Limit. And if they don't have main deck back row removal, like they're already going to struggle against your other traps, but when you have a card like Summon Limit that just cuts off the play completely, I think it's really, really solid. So I like that he's playing this and testing it out to see, you know, how it does against the meta. And then, of course, you got to play these 2 cards in the deck. They're both unfair. This probably should be banned. It probably will get banned in the new list. I think everyone's advocated for it. Watch it not get banned. We'll see what happens. Yeah, skill drain is just insane. You resolve skill drain, you win. But yeah, that's the main deck, you guys. 45 cards, so pretty solid. You know, he is playing also 45 to avoid the bricks, because you guys can see with the Dragoon package, unlike the DPE package where you can get some added advantage out of it, you don't really get that with playing the Dragoon. But anyways, we'll get to the extra deck real quick. So the 1-of Dragoon, just standard. He's playing 2 copies of Pallades. This card's just amazing. You just use it with your Eldritch traps. Just a free bounce. Card's nice. You got that. Then you've got literally all the trains. And when I say all the trains, I really mean all the trains. He's literally playing Gustav Max. He's playing the Lieb. And he's also playing what I call Dora the Explorer, the Dreadnought, the Rail Cannon Super Dora. So, yeah, he's just got all of those. And those can rank up into a Zeus. And, yeah, I mean, if you're Zeusing in this deck, I mean, you're really far ahead. So, that's pretty crazy. But, yeah, I like the option that you have. If you can play Zeus in your deck, you know, why not? It's been reprinted. Should be easy to get. 2 Entis. That's just standard to go off of Punishment. Along with the Omega, just helps you recycle cards. I think Omega is great as a Dogmatica punishment target. Just helps you recycle whatever you need. And then just for lastly for the links, you got the Link Spider. That's just for your traps. You've got the Verde. If you are able to go into it, just 2 monsters makes Verde. You want to just have the option to, you know, make Dragoon. You've got the Farigite, can help you shuffle back a card, you know, fix your hand. And then he rounded it out with the 2 Nightmares in Phoenix and Unicorn, just for some added spot removal, which I think is pretty solid. So that's it for the extra deck. And lastly, I got his side deck for you guys before we wrap it all up. Hopefully you guys are enjoying the video. And yeah, if I ever have the option, you know, if I can't get a live profile, if I myself have the cards, I'll definitely be doing these profiles for people. So hopefully you guys do enjoy. Lastly, for a side deck, he's playing 2 Lava Golem. This card is just insane. This card just can just break almost every board. Most boards put up at least 2 negates, so you just Lava Golem in and it's gone. He also played 2 copies of Droll, just because Droll is super impactful. Like, you need it this format. You need it against Bird Up. You need it against the Invoke decks. You need it against pretty much everything. It's pretty much good against every deck. So it's just really solid to have. And this was just random, but he is playing the 1 of Godarla. I guess it's just another card just to have an out to something. I guess if you play against Adagnist or if you need to tower or something. I mean, it's also an out to the Wind Statue, but this deck doesn't really care about that. But it just gives you an option against a monster that maybe isn't as hit as heavily, you know, with your traps. He's playing 2 copies of Dark Ruler, just, you know, to break boards. He's got a 2nd copy of Mine. If they don't see it game 1, you know, if they focus on all your traps, and then you are able to resolve a Mine, again, being able to, you know, just get to all your resource, get to all your traps, and then get your Eldritch Engine on board can just, you know, be enough to win you the game in the grind game. And then he just rounds it out with more traps, which are also more trap trick targets. Got 2 copies of Evenly to clean up boards, 2 copies of Different Dimension Ground. This card is literally, what is it, a D-shifter without the lingering, without the, you know, the ability to, you know, open it. You can literally just set this, flip it, your opponent's out of luck. This card's crazy. 2 copies of a Pointer. This just gives you an out to anything that gets in your way. Look at your opponent's hand, take away the option that can destroy you, and yeah, you just win. And then lastly, he played Red Reboot. You guys are probably wondering why is a trap deck playing Red Reboot? Well, if you guys are wondering, he did tell me the main reason he did play Red Reboot was that he looked at it as another copy of Judgment. Just helps you to prevent their own Red Reboot. So I think that was pretty solid. Lastly, he just wants to give his shout out to Carlos, Ivan, and also shout out to the Squirtle Squad. Shout out to Collectible Exchange for the great shop and the tourneys. Just notes for you guys, the Red Reboot, like I said, was an extra Judgment to prevent Evenly or Red Reboot. And that's why a Pointer is there. And he thinks the deck is good as long as you don't let a blowout card resolve. It should always put you in a great position. Dragoon over DPE. Dragoon negates, which is what Eldritch needs, and it helps burn and push for game more than DPE does. But that's it for you, the profile, you guys. Hope you guys did enjoy. If you did, you guys know what to do. Give it a thumbs up. Let me know what you guys think of Eldritch, this format. There's a lot of ways to play it. You have tons of traps that you can mess with. Whichever traps work the best in this format, you can just keep experimenting and finding out what works for you and what works to, you know, just really combat the format. But hopefully you guys enjoyed. It's awesome to do a profile again. I promise I'll be back soon. There'll be more deck profiles on the channel coming from the shops and stuff, so I appreciate all that. And I'll definitely be having more content coming to you guys soon, and hopefully get a new ban list. But yeah, hopefully it's sooner than later. All right, you guys, I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.